Hello and thanks for joining the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangout. I am Ayodele Ozugbakun. Today on the program, Imo Assembly defies court order, impeaches Deputy Governor as court restrain INEC, APC and Oshiomhole from conducting congresses in Imo. APC moves against Saraki's loyalists, dissolves Kwara Exco as Lai Mohammed kicks against double agents in Kwara APC. And later on the show, Governor Simon Lalong honors Imam who saved 300 Christians during Plateau massacre. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, Martins Oloja, and Asuko James. So if you are ready, let the hangout start now. Many thanks for joining us. The three arms of government in Imo State are entangled in a war of attrition, with no one knows whose fingers would get burnt after the dust settles. 19 members of the 30-member Imo House of Assembly on Monday defied a court order and purportedly removed the Deputy Governor, Eze Madomere, from office on sundry grounds. In another dimension, to the Royal Rumble unfolding in Imo State, a federal high court in Abuja restrained the INEC, APC and its national chairman, Adams Ali Oshiomhole, from conducting fresh primaries in the state until August the 21st. This is after APC in the states had defied another court order to conduct congresses on July the 20th. Now, who blinks first? As Justice Babatunde Quadri ordered all parties to maintain the status quo ante in APC Imo State. Gentlemen, Babajide, let's just run through it, let's chronicle the crisis, because a lot of people will not understand why the deputy governor is having problem with the governor of Imo State, and why the State House of Assembly, what led to his purported impeachment.
Yeah, what's going on in Imo State is like a seesaw. Today, one side appears to gain the upper hand. The next day, the other side turns the table, and momentum shifts to the other side. So it's been like that. I remember when the congresses were organized, the National Organizing Secretary of the APC at the time, Osita Izunaso, ensured that the governor did not even know where the Congress was holding. The governor moved around the state with security men, with a torchlight, trying to locate where they were having the Congress, but he could not find these guys. Now, at the end of the day, those congresses were held. The governor tried to use the courts to stop them from proceeding with the primaries, but he didn't succeed, because these guys went ahead to conduct even the state Congress. So the governor went to court. The first time he tried to stop them, he didn't succeed. He went to court, the case was on, and then his breather came in form of the National Convention. So at the National Convention, Osita Izunaso was looking to keep his position. Yes. But the governor, who had gone to Abuja to appeal to Mr. President and other people that he should not, they should not allow people who came into the party after him to disgrace him. We talked about how he had held the party together. The party wasn't popular at all in the southeast and all that.
That part of the country.
So ultimately, everything was contrived to ensure that Izunaso did not succeed in keeping his position. The governor's candidate eventually prevailed at the National Convention. You saw what happened when they eventually said, okay, only statutory delegates should actually take part in in the election at the convention. And they were beating each other, you know. It was a show of shame from the delegates from Imo State. And even some of their sympathizers joined them in the free-for-all. So now, for those who had written the governor of Imo State off, this is a lesson. You know, we kept saying it, some of us kept saying, look, they are not likely to allow this guy to be disgraced in this manner. That the party was likely to do something, you know. And I reminded people that Oshomole had promised to right some of those wrongs. So in the end, it is still the same court that the governor went to that now cancelled the primaries,
the Congress,
and the primary and the state primary that the Izunazo camp had conducted. And Oshomole promptly announced that the party was going to obey that court order. Now the governor has organized the state, what is it called? The state Congress. And his candidate, as emerged, his traducers stayed away from it. But they had their own agenda. They chose to go to court. Now the court has said, Oshomole, the rampaging national chairman of the APC, hold your fire. Do not organize any congress, because the governor is supposed to proceed with the primaries, but now he's been restrained. Then we have the court cases, also relating to the intention to impeach Madumere. Eze Madumere wants to succeed the governor. The governor prefers his in-law to succeed him. So this is the point of departure.
What's his name?
Uche Wosu. That's his chief of staff. So this is the point of departure between both men. He stopped putting the governor's muffler, famous muffler, around his neck. He yanked off the muffler, you know, to show that he has decided to combust his loyalty.
Their relationship is like the relationship between Kakwansia and Ganduje. Because Madumere has been with Rocha's foundation ever since.
Just like
close friend.
Even Uche Wosu had worked with the governor for almost 10 years.
Okay.
You know? So, well, now you can see the big politicians in Imo. People like Ararume, people like the former governor, Hakim. People like Achike Udenwa, they are behind the governor's enemies. But as things stand now, Madumere is saying that, look, the panel that the chief judge of the state set up did not invite him to defend himself. That the assembly itself also didn't invite him to defend himself. They just accused him of gross misconduct, that he has been staying away from work, that even assignments given by the governor, he doesn't do those assignments. So we don't know how it will end in the end. But the governor took a wise decision today, despite the fact that the hall had been filled to capacity, you know, for people to witness the inauguration of the new deputy governor. He told them, let us obey the court. He's being wise because it's still those courts that he wants to use.
He needs them.
He will need those courts.
When you look at the undercurrents, you have a lot of people that, the allegation, this thing is that the people that came to APC later, that later joined the latter-day converts, that when Rochas Okorocha was actually building the party and everything. But in spite of this, a lot of people in Imo State will still tell you that they are not so comfortable with the way you want to put his son-in-law there.
Of course, nobody will be comfortable if an outgoing person is trying to, be a lord over the next person that is coming. It's all over if you look at it, particularly if the person is not in the key cabinet. a deputy governor, originally the deputy governor was supposed to even take over. Because if we want to now look at what they are saying in Imo, some of the people, I don't want to say everybody, are saying based on equity.
It's senatorial zone.
Based on senatorial zone, okay, it's the Owerri senatorial zone that should, produce, Olu, is your Owerri senatorial zone that should produce the next governor. But Rochas is saying it is not about senatorial zone. There's nothing like equity here. It is who can do the job, who can continue from where I stop, So if he is saying that who can continue and he believes it's his son-in-law, the people can, decide. Yeah. The people are the ones will decide. It's the people that will decide.
He must be able to sell
his candidates,
to the people.
Very, very well.
Qualified as any other.
He's very, very qualified. He's qualified. He's young. If he's, I've not seen him speaking, so I don't know if he's as eloquent as Rochas.
There are Rochas, few people who are eloquent.
Rochas that's the only person apart outside Adams or Shomari that I know that can talk 1 full hour without drinking water. They can talk. So I don't know about Uche, but the undercurrent is that people they don't want people to come and say, okay, a third time or a second time.
Third time through the back door.
Through the back door.
Like they did for fellowship.
Exactly. They don't want somebody that, in quotes, will having his own house or whatever inside the government house. That will be telling the governor what to do and all that. So people they just want somebody who will be free, somebody who will not be lord over. Because if you look at Imo is one of the most sophisticated states when it comes to, politics. They don't joke with who is going to be the governor.
Yeah.
If you look at it, Hakim, with all Hakim did, they still didn't give him the time. There was a
rerun for that election.
It was
keenly contested.
And Hakim tried.
Neck on neck.
He tried. But eventually, what happened?
Made a mistake.
So if you look at it, when once Imolites, in quote, say they don't want you, there's nothing you can do. So the governor will have to sell his candidate so that if the candidate becomes part and parcel of the
Talking
people.
about the impeachment of the deputy governor, you saw the process. Do you have any misgivings about the way?
Even the man himself is saying they didn't even call him. they said, as somebody was saying yesterday, they're talking about gross misconduct, elastic. You can cover anything.
To work, you didn't do anything.
But these are political terms. But if a man has approached a court to say that I was not even called by 2 parties to defend myself, it's a serious observation. And then I think I am only worried about what Chief Olanekwe Kunhese said long ago. He warned the nation in 2004 at a lecture I attended in Abuja about the implication of allowing the courts to be deciding who gets the mandate, who gets what, who becomes a candidate, who becomes governor, who becomes president, who becomes everybody because of political mismanagement, crisis of character within the parties. Well, now every time we do something, we're laughing. In a minute, we disagree, we approach the court. It was the same process. He cited an instance where nobody even voted for Amechi as governor of Rivers State. It was the court that decided.
I think they stopped down with the electoral agreement. It has been stopped. Before the court will cancel some local governments and make a declarative statement that this person has law.
The Senate amended.
But before the amendment,
you can only win.
Yes.
You can only win through the ballot box.
Through the ballot box.
The Senate has amended that.
But what we are saying now is the way our politicians approach the court. They can't manage political party and internal democracy in a way that will be acceptable.
You said the deputy governor shouldn't have gone to the court.
No. I am talking about the implications of political actions that this one approached the court, this one approached the court, this one now, they wanted to swear
If you look at what happened after 2015 election, there's a decline in those court cases.
They decline.
A massive decline.
But
so
now
we are
going back to it. We are going back to it.
No, this is not an electoral contest. It's a question of someone's rights being breached, and it's approaching the court to say, look, enforce my rights.
It's good. Gani Fawayemi, you know, what made him popular was even despite his anger, any small observation, he advised people at that time, go to court. Don't carry cutlass, don't carry anything, it's very good. But it has, every action like that has consequences on even democratization. If political parties cannot manage their affairs, deputy governor, this is the second deputy governor in the state, second deputy governor, that the governor will say, look, whatever in every flowery way we can describe the action of the governor, seeking to promote, even the party should be wary of the one seeking to promote his own son-in-law or brother-in-law to succeed him. It's not something that we should joke with, because the party should know that if the people say no, they are going to lose.
And it's up to them.
I wanted to
The
say the best way, because now if we start having these court cases, now before there's a timetable for primaries, and they must hold that election, and that the World Congress, local government and World Congress
together.
They must hold
At a particular time
before the primary election in the states.
Yes, and by September
You start having
primary election,
it's August,
Senate, this and that. So, but it's inevitable that a matter like this, these are already now sworn enemies. It's just like husband and wife, you know, deciding that, well, they can no longer live together, and they approach the courts.
The divorce.
Yes. It's always the last resort when there is irreconcilable differences between two parties, whether they are politicians or they are husband and wife. The court will have to step in. Because if the court doesn't step in, then anarchy will take over. So rather than allow anarchy to take over in Imo, because someone would believe that he has been cheated and they want to resort to extra judicial means, let the courts be able to say, look, you cannot impeach someone in this manner. And we've seen our courts rise to the occasion. It's not every time that they say, oh, they want to impeach someone that they succeed. You saw that in Nasarawa, they failed, despite the fact that the PDP had the majority. You know, even in Adamawa, when they illegally impeached Balangilari, the Supreme Court restored him to his position, because it was the governor that they ought to have impeached. And then they added the deputy, because at that time, the speaker wanted to inherit that position. Yeah. You know?
I remember that case.
Yes. So now the courts are good for us to help these politicians.
No, they are good.
Are selfish. Politicians are selfish. They do not always find unanimity easy to achieve.
Consensus.
So if they can't achieve unanimity on certain matters, then the court will step in and say, gentlemen, this is the way to go. If we do not, and what we want to see is for the decisions of our courts under Muhammadu Buhari, the president today, to be obeyed, because there is no substitute to that.
That's a serious
There's
problem.
no substitute to that. The Attorney General of the Federation,
obedience to court
this Attorney General of the Federation
orders
has to ensure that at all times the pronouncements of our courts are obeyed. Because today it is this person, they will leave office one day.
Yes.
And when they leave office and the people who succeed them put them in detention illegally, it is that same court that they will go to, because I know that politicians don't like losing their freedom. So whatever people do today, they should remember tomorrow.
That's a very serious
the assembly, if you want to impeach, you must make sure that the positions are laid down by our constitution, abided with. Otherwise, you can be sure that the courts will set you back. You know?
Ayo, that's a very serious observation. Disobedience to court orders and the rule of law. If those ones are absent,
I praise Okorocha
for that. It's very, very good. And the Attorney General of the Federation himself should borrow a leaf from that.
All right, still to come. APC moves against Saraki. The loyalists dissolves Kwara Exco as Lai Mohammed kicks against double agents in Kwara APC. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this time out. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're right on time. Journalist Hangout, reaching you live from Television Continental here in Lagos, Nigeria. Terms like reshuffle, realignment, dissolution, and removal are common in politics, denoting the penchant for politicians to move or be moved from one side or the other, or political divide. Now, but a thin line separates who is where as far as the party affiliation is concerned in Kwara State. This is due largely to one step in, one step out approach of the Senate President Abubakar Bukola Saraki and his protege Malam Abdul Fattah Mohammed Ahmed. However, the APC national leadership is wielding the big stick against Saraki and his loyalists by dissolving the Kwara Exco of the party. According to the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, there should be no room for double agents within the APC. Let's take some reactions from some APC chieftains in Kwara State on this development.
Of them again is the expulsion of Senator Bukola Saraki because of his anti-party activities. Before this decision of yesterday, the party has been granted and stagnated in Kwara because the party leadership is directly under the control of Senator Bukola Saraki. But with this development, the party is going to be repositioned very soon. And the statement of the former APC chairman in Kwara State, Balogun Fulani, that they are loyal to Bukola Saraki and as against being loyal to the party. So, and for Senator Bukola Saraki, he's been casting so many aspersions on the party leadership. Fresh registration of membership in Kwara State to enable us to know the authentic and bona fide members of the party.
Justice has prevailed in APC in Kwara State. The rightful people have been given the party. Those who have just been hobnobbing and working for other people, they've been moved out. So there's going to be progress, there's going to be development now in the party. And we now call on all the electorate to please give us their support. It's not an APC issue, it's a Kwara project where we invite all people to come and work with us so that we will enthrone a government that will be interested in the development of the masses of Kwara State. Comrade, His Excellency Adam Oshoimole, we shall forever be grateful to him. He has shown that he's a leader with foresight. He's steadfast.
That Lai Mohammed should know that all executives from the ward to the state level were duly elected under the supervisions of an official of APC of the national headquarters with INEC officers in attendance, sworn in accordingly and has taken oath of office to serve for a tenure of 4 years, that is 2018 to 2022. That we advise Lai Mohammed to join hands with the authentic elected APC member in Kwara State, ably led by Honorable Ishola B.F. Fulani, as prepared for 2010 general election.
All right, that's from the two sides there in Kwara State. Now, Babajide, when APC was formed and the likes of Bukola Saraki wanted to come from PDP to APC, as at that time, they came and they subsumed the structure. That was when the likes of Barrister Belgori SAN was in APC. He had to leave APC for PDP because Saraki came, took over the entire structure and everything. Now, the structure of Alhaji Lai Mohammed, led by Bolanriwa, they've been waiting in the wind, waiting for this day to come. That one day, they know that Bukola Saraki will want to leave the party. But what is happening now is that the Senate President has not officially announced that he has left the party. It's still a situation. The governor of Kwara State, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, he has been doing senatorial district consultation. The last one he did, the people said, we are tired of APC. And the governor said, yes, we are tired of APC. Our leader should tell us where we are going. But up to this moment, at least to check the record, Bukola Saraki still belongs to APC. Yes. So I read his reaction before I entered the studio now, saying that why people want to railroad him out of APC? Still a bona fide member of APC. So how would you describe this situation?
Yeah, the truth is, after his outriders left the party, it is a natural
outriders.
Yes, it is a natural course of action that Bukola too will eventually leave the party. And
it's just a matter of timing.
It's just a matter of time. Ayo, as far back as December, if you remember, I said Kwankwaso will leave the party. I remember someone very strong in the APC who was telling me Kwankwaso will never leave. I shook my head because I had a reason for saying that. And I told you why, I knew he would leave. December, around first week of December, you know. So the truth is, Bukola Saraki will leave. But he wants to choose his own time to leave. Because whatever you want to say about him, he's a very calm and very calculative politician.
Strategist.
A man who can defeat his dad in the way he did and send his dad to political retirement cannot be underrated. You underrate Bukola Saraki at your own peril because of his capacity to organize and his capacity to strategize. He picked up valuable lessons from his old man. His old man will never tell you what he wants to do until the last minute. Last minute, sometimes a day to election, he will order his people, this is where to go.
Yes.
And then that will happen. And you will not be able to stop it.
This morning that at a point in time, Oloye was partyless. I think he resigned from ANPP. For a short gap, he didn't declare for PDP. But it was during the election, before the election, maybe 24 hours, he just told people.
Yeah, it's usually 24 hours. Look, in 1983, when he had this disagreement with Adamata, you know, before the 1983 election, the party leadership came to Ilorin, the Kwara Main Stadium at that time, to raise up the hands of both Saraki, Oloye, and Adamata. And Shagari was there. They assumed that the matter had ended. But my mom, who is someone who follows politics very well, was telling me that this is a lie, that they won't resolve this thing. You know? And that was what happened. Because a day to the election, he called his people. He said, see, everything that we said yesterday, ignore. This is the party that you people will vote for. And he ordered them to go and vote for Cornelius Adebayo of the UPN. Anti-party activity. This is the fear. This is the fear that Lai Mohammed and others have. That if you keep the structures, because from what level up to state,
yes, it's in charge. 100%.
If you keep them, they will be able to work from within APC against the party.
Weaken the party.
You see, you can say that, oh, yeah, they have the right to remain. They have the right. You must wait for them to decamp. But they don't want to wait for them to decamp, because if anybody knows Bukola very well, it has to be someone like Lai Mohammed, because he's been their victim one way or the other. At least they didn't allow him to win the election. You know? So he knows, and they know what he's capable of doing. That's why they are thinking that, okay, these structures, let us just sack all these people. But whether by law they can pull it off is what I cannot explain, because I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what will happen if they choose to go to court. Okay. I don't know what will happen.
Okay, I have Isaac calling us from Benue.
Good evening, Ayo.
Good evening, Isaac. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Babajide and the other guests in the studio.
Good evening.
Good evening. Babajide, please, I have a question for you, Babajide.
Okay.
Please, I know you have to go around the north and other places.
Yeah.
Please, are you seeing the opportunity for President Buhari making it for the second time? As it is now.
Am I what?
Please, are you seeing the possibility of President Buhari making it landslide win?
No. Let's not talk about landslide.
No.
Let's not talk about landslide, Isaac. From what I see on the ground and the strength of the opposition, if an election is conducted today, he will win.
Okay.
I don't know what will happen, because I'm not God, between now and February.
Next year.
Maybe the opposition would have become extremely strong. We've seen that, because if you ask me in 2014 whether Jonathan will win, I would have told you that Jonathan will win, you know. But certain things happened along the line, the mass defections, especially the defections in December 2014, that totally flattened Jonathan. So the truth is, the question that people ask me, and what I always say is, if they do an election today, from what I see on the ground and the incumbency factor and all that, it will win the election. This is a fact. The opposition, don't forget that even the opposition is not very effective. And it has the capacity to get more votes in some parts of Nigeria where it didn't do particularly well in the last election.
I'm sure.
But I must also warn the president and his people that they must not be complacent.
Exactly.
Because I hear Keyamo, who has never won an election, saying that the president will win by landslide. Does he not even know what landslide is and what allows someone to win landslide? Do you just issue press statements to make yourself happy or to draw attention to yourself and give the Oga the impression that you are working? No, you can't even be talking about landslide. Let's say that the president will win. Don't become unnecessarily arrogant and anger the voter. That what is this person saying? So we are not talking about landslide. Because the kind of votes that came from Kano can't come this time. Mark my words, he can't come. He can't come this time. 1.9. He can't come this time because, look, the candidate of the PDP may come from the Northwest. So some of those votes will go to that person. It's always been like that. Nigerians hardly reject their own candidate, their own son, if it's on the ballot. No matter what, he will get some votes.
Dele, you succeeded in making Jire to digress from our topic today. Don't worry, don't worry, it's a very, very interesting topic, but we promise you that, look,
one day we'll do it.
The election.
We'll do it state by state.
State by state, region by region, how it's going to find out. We'll do a comparative analysis from what happened.
1.9 million will not come. No, not this time.
And the voodoo votes from...
Azugo, looking at the plight of Kwara State now, for a long time, and I still see that to come, Bukola Saraki has been the strong man of Kwara politics since the exit of this Sarakis, since the exit of Oloye himself and everything. Now, you find a situation whereby Alhaji Lai Mohammed went to Oro, he held a rally, and the crowd was, I saw the crowd and I was like impressed. And a statement, I don't know, it was credited to Senator Gbemisola Saraki, saying that, look, if President Buhari comes to Ilorin today, that the crowd that will come there, that it will enter the Guinness Book of Records. Trying to say APC, the faction of Lai Mohammed and the faction of Muhammad Buhari, you know, they're still on ground despite of the Saraki's influence.
Definitely, APC is still on ground because Saraki is still in APC. You understand?
Now, if Saraki moves.
So now we cannot say that APC is not on ground until Saraki moves. Just like Jide said, the last minute is going to decide.
Only God knows what is
because nobody knows the man's mind. Nobody knows Saraki's mind. We are just saying that he's going to defect. He has even granted interviews where he said he might likely.
And the problem, so they just go ahead and remove him from the party?
No, the thing is they can't push him now because if they push him, it's going to be bad press for even APC. You understand? Because if you look at it, because right now they have succeeded in making him the beautiful bride. You are attacking him, he's getting more popular. You're attacking him, he's getting more supporters. Look at when he went to Ilorin, for instance. You saw the crowd, and he was happy seeing the crowd, even if he doesn't even have that.
Naturally.
You understand? So for now, it's still a major factor in the APC. Whether we like it or we don't, it's still a major factor. So they must give him that, accord him that.
But there's this school of thought that is irredeemable, that you cannot bring him back. That nothing.
He has gone. He has gone. There's nothing we can do.
His soul is gone.
The soul is gone. The only thing that is remaining in APC is the body. but the soul is
The
out.
soul is gone, and it's the soul that is important.
It's very important because definitely because
Let's talk about our professional colleague. That's Malam Bolaji Abdullahi now.
Yeah.
He's in a fix. Bolaji Abdullahi is the publicity secretary of the All Progressive Congress, and he's just won a national convention as the publicity secretary. Bolaji Abdullahi is loyal to to Bukola Saraki himself, and is the publicity secretary, and things are not looking so good for Bukola Saraki within the APC, and he has not been speaking as he's meant to speak. Adams Oshomole has been doing, playing that role as the spokesperson of the party.
Well, it is still what I said earlier about the attitude and character crisis of our people, and inability, as Jude said, to build consensus, to sit down and even get out angry without going to court. Let us say, look, let's talk to ourselves. Let's speak the truth to ourselves and get angry, because in Yoruba land, they say that when you see people coming out smiling from a meeting, it means that they have deceived themselves. Mm-hmm. So let them even speak truth to the powers. And how? So, Bolaji Abdullahi, just as we were talking before we came in here, that Malam Garba Shehu worked with Atiku Abubakar for a very long time. And everybody knew him as an Atiku Abubakar man. And he, when the going was good, they lent him to President Muhammadu Buhari. And he's still there, and he's still working. And they are not saying that you should resign, you should go because your Oga is now going to challenge our man. No, I think we shouldn't play politics like that. Let us begin to admire the character of people. Not because there's a new chairman who does not like.
I don't think he
doesn't trust him.
I don't think he trusts him.
The chairman doesn't trust him.
I don't think he trusts him. You see, what people do, let me tell you, what people do sometimes has a way of hurting them in future. Whether we like it or not. Bolaji Abdullahi served Goodluck Jonathan.
Yes.
He worked with him. Did you see the book that eventually wrote?
No, I talked about the book.
Did you see the book that eventually wrote against that government? Now, don't you think that...
On a platter of gold.
Yes. I was very negatively inclined book. It's not the sort of book that Jonathan would... I've seen people who served even bad leaders who chose not to criticize them.
Till Wadanas died.
Who chose never to criticize them.
No,
not even people like Wadanas that were saying.
Loyalty.
People who will restrain themselves that, look, whatever it is, he gave me an opportunity to serve.
Even the president has not criticized Abacha.
That is the thing. You see, people who will see it more or less like disloyalty or ungratefulness. If you sit down and wrote that kind of book against someone who gave you an opportunity to serve,
ministerial appointment,
you are telling people like Oshiomhole, who by nature is not even, is not so restrained. You are telling him that, look, he has to watch you.
Tomorrow.
With suspicion.
That's the thing, because Oshiomhole, who in the first place does not even trust you, will start thinking, this guy, by the time we work together and he has access to some information and all that, won't he go and write a book about me? So that is the thing. And the crisis that they're having with Saraki now, anybody that they know is fiercely loyal to him, they will be reluctant to work with that person.
Exactly.
They will be reluctant to work with that person. I pity Bolaji Abdullahi because he sees this as a new beginning. I don't think he wants to leave. But Oshiomhole will do whatever it takes to take him out. Except if it's not the Oshiomhole that I know. I swear, Oshiomhole will do whatever it takes to frustrate him.
If he has not gone
and on his own, he will eventually have to pack his bag. That is what Oshiomhole will do.
Let me take this call.
Okay. I have a question.
Thank you. Habib, from Osun State. Thank you for joining us, Habib.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yes, good evening, Habib.
Good evening. Uncle Jide.
Yeah.
Good evening.
I greet you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the fact that you're so conversant about Nigerian politics. But I just beg to differ about your colleagues, Asuko, the submission about Kwara. I am an indigenous of Kwara, and I live in Kwara.
Yeah.
But what is on ground right now, I do not see Bukola Saraki even winning his senatorial seat back.
Really?
Because he has become serious problem to the APC. Moving to the PDP is another problem again. Going back to the last
don't even want to accept him.
Are you with me?
Yes, we know the problem that is facing everyone in coming to
Going to the local government election we had last in Kwara State.
Yeah.
He lost his polling units. That has never happened to him. That never happened to his father. And who contested in that election was somebody you don't even know. People voted against Saraki, not against APC.
Okay.
If Saraki is leaving APC for PDP, people will vote overwhelmingly against PDP in Kwara. If he remains in APC, people will vote overwhelmingly against APC. And with the way things are at the moment,
This is another
situation, man.
Buhari.
Wow.
No, you see, there is a real battle. You see, the main battle in Kwara now is in Kwara Central. That's Ilorin itself. Ilorin, the town is divided now. There are those who have made up their minds that the Saraki dynasty, that they've reigned long enough.
Is enough.
That's one part. That's their contention. There's another part that says, okay, whatever it is, these people, even the APC in the state, will do our best to ensure that APC, because that's what Saraki, at least up till now, that's what is identified with, will do our best to make sure that APC does not win an election in Kwara. And we saw that in that local government election. I saw the result sheets. Clearly, the people spoke. Whether in Balogun Fulani or Balogun Ajikobi, and the PDP won the election in those places.
But the
but invariably the results. But the results that actually announced.
But this local government, this SIEC, all over the place.
When people ask me to analyze or predict who wins an election, these days, you know what I do? What I do, I say, well, in a free and fair contest. You must put that in.
Definitely.
Because these days you can't be sure of what you will get.
Exactly.
Because the election may not be free and fair.
Ayo, there is still a question that I read in one of the newspapers on this same story today. Whether Alhaji Lai Mohammed himself has the capacity to organize, because they accused him of being a Kwaran in the diaspora. And that he only shows up during election in Kwara State, that he has not been organizing, that they should be very, very careful.
But there are other people that they can use. There are other people that it's not the only one in APC.
You know, I think there are other people that with the position now, I think he's trying to be the party leader.
Yes, by the time the big tormentor leaves the scene, people like Lai Mohammed will now they'll take. So that's the thing.
Big tormentor.
Circumstances
it's not so easy like that.
Circumstances can turn a political neophyte to a political juggernaut overnight.
Exactly.
It's just about exploiting the opportunity at your disposal. So Lai Mohammed can suddenly become the
kingpin of Kwara politics.
It can happen.
All right, moving forward now.
The next election
in a troubled country where calamities and disasters have taken a toll on our humanity, good deeds, however little, must be appreciated. Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong has honored an 83-year-old Islamic cleric, Imam Abdullahi Abubakar, for shielding and saving about 300 Christians from assailant during June the 23rd and 24th attack by invading herdsmen in Bakinladi area of the state. Imam Abubakar's uncommon deed of hiding people in his house and mosque from killer herdsmen came at a risk of his own life. Governor Lalong said this has attracted an invitation from President Muhammadu Buhari for a handshake and a national honor. This is surely a clarion call to let peace reign. I grew up in an environment whereby Christians and Muslims you can hardly identify because the way we coexist. And this man is giving us a feel of what used to happen in the 80s. Babajide?
Yes, before our country became so divided along religious lines and all that, it's gratifying that while some headsmen using their militia have taken it upon themselves to take lives liberally in our country, there is an individual who didn't think that it made sense, and he tried his best. Look at what he said. Hear what he said. He said, upon seeing victims running for safety from suspected headsmen who attacked Nga village, I opened the door of the mosque and hit them. I hid the women in my own house. I lied to the gang that everyone in the mosque were Muslims. So there are times, good can sometimes come out of evil. It is evil to lie. But if you lie to save
People's life.
Yes, I'm sure that even if you die in the process,
he endangered his own life.
Al-Jannah Fidaus.
Yes.
Because if those guys, this man, if he had died in the process, I'm sure that
if they had pressed further, those people
they will have killed him. They will have killed him as him as a saboteur. So this is the thing. The president needs to honor a person like this, so that people who believe in spilling blood, either on the Christian side, on the Muslim side, they will realize that it does not pay to do that, and that if they can do the sort of thing that this old man did, that they will be honored. So whatever they do for this old man, I will be very, very happy, because he thoroughly deserved it. This is this is something that led the attacks led to the loss of more than 250 people. You know,
so that means
they will have killed up to 650. In fact, he said that because people were safe in that Unga Yewa, that people escaping from other districts ran into that place to go and take refuge. He saved, in actual fact, he saved 262 lives. You know?
Okay, Yusuf is calling us from Kaduna State. Thank you for joining us, Yusuf.
Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening. Please, quickly.
Yes. Good evening. Please, I would like to speak to. I want to comment on Babajide.
Okay. Is
Babajide.
Yeah.
On a more serious note, you've been trying to go back the way you started earlier than before. I really appreciate that.
How?
We are have to
you people just make me laugh.
No, you are very strict in the way you put your debate, and I'm glad. You derailed about 1 month ago.
It's a lie. It's a lie. I didn't derail.
Anyway,
people ask me, see, let me tell you, I didn't derail. It's impossible for me. I'm too stubborn to change my ways. This is the way I've always been all my life. The thing is, I love the president. Okay. But you people don't want me to admit that I like him. But I criticize the president more than any TV personality in this country. Nobody. The things that I say on TV, the things that I say about him, others don't say it. I challenge, if you know anybody who criticizes the president more than I do, I know even on Facebook people, supporters of the president who have even blocked me. People don't see that. The president, I like him as a person, but I will tell him the truth, and I'm happy that some of what we tell them, they do.
They do it.
So the thing is not a matter of, people are free to belong to PDP. Yes. Just the same way I'm free to like the president. It's as simple as that. But as a journalist, I will remain faithful to the truth. Exactly. This is a fact. People must realize that. Okay. It is not a crime to support the president.
Exactly. So
my callers today, you just like looking for trouble.
He said that
let's stay with the topic.
He said that the raid, how?
No. That's the question.
It's a political program. It's a political topic.
Let's just go back to Imam, because what he did was exemplary. Because
Imam Abdullahi Abubakar,
yes. You know,
nobleman.
Good that the president wants to honor him. There's so many other imams,
and they should make sure that this man is protected.
Exactly, because that is where I'm going to. Because now
he won't be a target.
A target to these bandits. Because before you know it, now they say, they've attacked him and all that. They must protect him. Thank God. There was a time we were discussing about Plateau. Plateau used to be very, very peaceful until what happened some months back, happened. But thank God the governor is coming back, bringing peace, efforts so that peace will return to Plateau. And I also want the president, because we are honoring Abubakar today. There are so many other Nigerians who have staked their lives for others to live. As is giving Abubakar, there are so many other people who are staking their lives. Like even the civilian JTF, for instance, most of them are dying in the battlefield. Yes. Just to save people to save the residents who are
Soldiers are dying.
And soldiers, so many soldiers. So that is where we are appealing to the president.
So, Imam Abdullah Abubakar?
Definitely, you know, a good man. 83-year-old good man. And even I know from the ancient word, the word of God that I believe in, that God Almighty himself always looking for one man. Always looking for one man. Even we as a nation, we are looking for one man. Just one man. At any time, one man who will make the difference. Just as I said about even another cleric before who wrote a book, The Purpose-Driven Life, Rick Warren. He was talking about prominent people and significant people. There are so many prominent people. We, as some criminals, we in the media, we made them to be prominent, but they are not significant in the eye of the Almighty God. Here is a significant man, and he should be duly honored. Once they honor this man, just as the Deputy Chief of Mission of the U.S. Embassy in Nigeria also said, they should also remember to arrest the criminal actors who are always perpetrating this thing. It's supposed to be a carrot and stick kind of thing.
To arrest them.
As they are honoring this man, they should also remember to arrest the criminal actors.
Because one day, somebody like this imam may not be around.
May not be around.
And they will slaughter people.
And then they will slaughter people. So in order to deter this kind of attitude, they should arrest those people, and that is the only way you can stop it, because if they are not stopped, you will encourage them to do more, and they will say tomorrow, if they say, are you sure everybody there is this and that, they will say yes. But they will now use this example as one man hid some people in one place. So it is important today to remember to arrest the criminal gang.
Today we want to end by, you know, a message of tolerance to our religion, that if a Muslim can do this.
Yes, it's a direct message to the exuberant people across both religions.
Yes.
The unnecessarily exuberant people across both religions.
Always quick to discuss religion.
Because the worst form of exuberance is the one demonstrated by an adult. You know, because if you show that kind of exuberance at adulthood, that means you are not living your age. You know, so they need to learn from this man. We should not be killing ourselves. It makes no sense to kill ourselves. We should be tolerant of one another, and we remember that God put us together as one people. You know, we are as one people, people of God. We have no right to shed blood. No religion permits the shedding of blood. No religion. So those who shed blood, they must know that one day they will go and meet their Maker, and their Maker will serve justice to them.
Exactly.
I remember the former Arewa man, Sunday Awoni, saying that his first Bible, that it was, is this Tafabali Awusuma for one of his boss, one of this great Islamic scholar that actually bought it for him. We also have a very, very huge fan in Justice Umar Eri.
Yes, Justice Umar Eri is the first Chief Judge of Kogi State, but he's an ardent watcher of journalist Hangout. And yesterday, after it was announced that I had won an award, Justice Umar Eri sent this message. My dear Babajide, very big congratulations for your award. We are proud of you, and be rest assured that by the grace of God, national honor will surely come your way. No matter how long, keep it up. Justice Umar Eri retired. He was also one time chairman of the National Judicial Institute in Abuja. I'm grateful for the message from one of the most honest and decent Nigerians, you know.
Thank you for being a huge fan.
Thank you for being a supporter. You know, we are grateful, and we promise that we'll continue to give our best.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
I would thank you, Martins Aloja. Thank you for making the program very, very interesting today. Asuko James, thank you for always being there for us. And we do this together. Babajide Kolade Otitoju, the brain box. Thank you for always being the maestro in the house. And that's it on Journalist Hangout. Join us tomorrow for another interesting episode of the program. You can also watch Journalist Hangout on our platforms showing on the screen. Catch us live on YouTube. That's youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. Our feedback channel is Journalist Hangout at tvcnews.tv. I'm Ayodele Uzubaku. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.